All right, let's do this. Welcome everyone back to another edition of Super Farmer Cigar Garage Talks. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm doing pretty good. Having a interesting week full of excitement and adventure, and kind of looking forward to not the week this video posts, but the following week. We're going to be talking about that. Let's talk about Holy Week. First, what are we smoking? What are we drinking? From the American Viking, I think it's the Brigado, first edition. Good cigars. I've had them before. Can't pronounce the name. I am sorry to Cigars Daily and to American Viking for slaughtering every name for every cigar you guys have. Yeah, and it's the dyslexia in me. Nothing personal, because good cigars. The drink tonight from the QAnon Brewing Company, Point Trail Ale. This is a rye Indian pale ale. Again, kind of like I talked about, I'm not a fan of pale ales or IPAs or stuff like that. I don't like the over-hopping, but you got to try some. Every now and then I find one that's not bad. I don't have high hopes for this one, but we'll see what happens. Good amber color, actually pretty good head on it. There you go, let's give her a try. Nope, that's up there with just the really over-hopped IPAs. Yeah, still not a fan. Sorry, a little citrus flavor at the end there, but not really even tasting the rye, to be honest with you. It's just the hops. That's all I'm tasting. This last week was quite interesting. We had spring break. Our exchange student went off to compete in a robotics competition for states. They did good in their first round, the divisional rounds. So they have 4 divisions that then compete for the state title. They came in second in their division, and they lost to the team that would go on to actually win the state competition. So held their own. They actually set a couple of records. They had the 8th highest ever recorded score for First Robotics in one of their matches. They are currently ranked 8th in the state of Michigan. And if you know anything about robotics, that means they are going to Worlds. So not this week, not when this video posts, but the following week, our exchange student will be heading off to Texas to compete for the world title. They think they have a pretty good chance of doing rather well. I do have to remind her and the other kiddos that, they're going up against other schools that have millions of dollars invested in their robotics program. We're coming from a small town UP. Great team. The team is phenomenal. The coach is awesome. But we probably have 1/10 of the resources and funding available to this team. And they're doing amazing things. It's just great to see what this team is able to do. Looking forward to watching Worlds here in 2 weeks. Should be good times. But continuing on about the title of the video. So not the Monday this video drops, but the coming Sunday. So this video will drop on Monday. The coming Sunday is the start of Holy Week for Catholics. If you're not aware, we take a whole week to prepare for the celebration of Easter, also known as the resurrection of Jesus. So it starts off with a very interesting math. It starts off with Palm Sunday. On Palm Sunday, that is considered to be the highest point of Jesus' ministry. People are removing their cloaks and covering the road, and he's riding in, on a donkey, which is actually very biblical. Kind of got to go back to the Old Testament to find out why that's actually amazing. That he decided to ride into town on a donkey, and that people were removing their jackets and cloaks and pulling palms off of palm trees to lay down in front of them. So it's interesting how we go from that to then one of the lowest points in his ministry to the ultimate high point, his resurrection. His crucifixion, of course, being the the lowest point of his ministry, to then the highest point of his resurrection, and whatnot. So, if you've never been, pretty much every day of Holy Week has some sort of special ceremony, religious significance. And as Catholics, we are encouraged to participate in as much as we can. So, if you don't know, Judas is said to have betrayed Jesus on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, some churches will have a little mass. Many people will fast and abstain on Wednesday of Holy Week to really show their sorrowful that someone betrayed Jesus, that ultimately ended up him being crucified. We then, after Wednesday, we have Holy Thursday Mass, where it's another beautiful Mass that is dedicated to removing a lot of the different holy symbols, the Eucharist, the cloth is removed. On that Thursday Mass, there is called the Darkness Mass. I don't know the actual Latin name, sorry. Basically, they light some candles, and throughout the night, they'll extinguish one candle, and they have crashing plates and pans and cymbals, and it's a very powerful Mass. We didn't get to go the last 2 years. We're hopefully going to go this year. We'll definitely see if we can make it. Then there's Good Friday Mass. One of the most interesting Masses you'll ever be to. On Good Friday, it's believed that that is when Jesus got crucified and has died on the cross. And so we remove all holy items. The Eucharist, you don't have to genuflect. There's no Eucharist. There's no music. There's no candles. There's no incense. There's just the readings. And there's a lot of them. The Mass is quite lengthy on Good Friday. We are expected again to abstain from all meat and fast because Jesus is dead. He died on that day, died on a Friday. And the Mass it's a 1 to 3 or 2 to 3 hour long Mass, chanting and praying. Sometimes again we'll have a later Mass where we try to have a representation of agony in the garden. So we set up a little garden scene where we pray with Jesus, try to pray for an hour. Very, very powerful. I really do like Good Friday Mass. It is really impressive. If you've never been to one, I highly recommend you go to it. On Saturday, we have, and actually Good Friday, interesting, unless it's a dire emergency, like a life and death thing, no baptisms can happen, no marriages can happen, no first communion, confirmation. The only ones you can is you have to have an emergent baptism. It can happen on Good Friday. If the child's going to die or a person's going to die. You can have anointing of the sick. Again, if there's a serious risk of them dying, you can have it. But beyond that, it is highly discouraged to have any religious celebrations on Good Friday. Again, you don't have to genuflect, you don't have to kneel, you don't have to sing. But the Mass itself kind of commemorating the loss of Jesus, the time when Jesus was gone from this earth. Very beautiful Mass. And then we move into Saturday, and Saturday has Easter Vigil. So after the sun sets, they usually have a fire going, a holy fire. That fire is used to light the ceremonial candle. We have a big candle we do with ceremonies. The sacred candle's lit. During that time, we reconsecrate and re-bless everything. The host, the tabernacle, we get the Eucharist, put that in the monstrance and put that inside the tabernacle that gets blessed. The altar gets blessed. The altar dressing cloths get put on. Incense is burned. Again, Easter Vigil Mass takes about 2 hours. Hour and a half to 2 hours. Beautiful Mass, blessing everything, praying over everything, singing, glorifying God, because on Sunday we know that's when Jesus has risen. Jesus rose from the dead on Sunday. Then we have Easter Mass, where we celebrate his resurrection. So it's a lot of opportunities to go to a lot of different masses. Each of them are steeped in significance. There's also some other masses, some traditional masses, some trad masses. I'm not very familiar with the practices of them. I'll admit I do go to a lot of these services and whatnot. That's not to say that I know everything about all of them. But yeah, this week is a very beautiful week to celebrate being Catholic. To my knowledge, we are the only Christian religion, Christian denomination, that puts that much celebration into that Holy Week, the week before Easter, to really prepare, to cleanse, to get rid of all the old, because we are waiting for Jesus to come renewed. And there's some, strong symbology to that, symbolism to that, where you have getting rid of, the old Eucharist, the old hosts, cleansing. This is the time you usually clean out your hearth. You clean out the hearth, and your first fire you light in the hearth is supposed to be lit with the holy fire. Every year we talk about trying to keep a holy candle or holy lamp going. We talked about it again. I don't think it's going to happen. We'll see. Maybe we'll do the holy flame. See how long we can keep it burning for. But yeah, we're one of the only ones who, as far as I know, I think we are the only one who does a complete Holy Week, the week before Easter, with a lot of dedication, a lot of prayer, a lot of special services, and a lot of symbolism, a lot of meaning, a lot of power, and it's intentional. It's not something we just, I guess this year we should probably do something on Good Friday, the day Jesus was definitely dead or died on the cross, right? We don't know. We're the only religion that does that, celebrates that entire week from his greatest moments to his lowest moment to then his ultimate moment. Very beautiful celebration. And it's something that if you've never been to, whether you're Catholic or not, check it out. Check out these different celebrations that we have during Holy Week. Now, I will tell you that if you've never been to a Catholic Mass, this might not be the best Masses to start off with. There's a lot of formality to them. There's a lot of Latin. They're quite confusing. They don't follow the traditional flow of a Catholic Mass. Because they're very significant, very special, being that they only happen once a year. But if you're at all interested, if you're all curious, check them out. Again, my favorite, it's one of the longest Masses, it'll take you about 2 hours, is the Mass on Good Friday. There's something so powerful about being in a holy place, but we're taught, we know that this is when Jesus is dead. And so he's not there. We symbolize that. We recognize that there was a time when Jesus was not on this earth. When he was truly gone from us. And even the Mass itself gives you this overwhelming feeling of almost dread. But there's not the loss of hope. You know what's coming. You know there's going to be this resurrection. So yeah, just a very powerful, very, very powerful Mass. I really enjoy Good Friday Mass. The other one, again, is Easter Vigil. Beautiful Mass. Reconsecrating everything and blessing everything and getting ready for Easter celebration. Again, all those Masses deeply steeped in Old Testament. Been going on for, a couple thousand years now. So yeah, highly recommend, if you've never checked it out, check out some of the Masses during Holy Week. Don't just go to Easter. Check out Good Friday. Check out Holy Thursday, Easter Vigil. If they offer any of the betrayal Masses on Wednesday, check those out. I hear some weird Latin name for a Mass. Check them out. You'll be surprised on some of these Masses and how interesting they can be. But anyway, folks, I'm going to go finish my cigar, finish my beer, enjoy my Sunday. And yeah, I hope you all out there have a wonderful day. Wonderful week. There may not be a video that posts on Easter, on Holy Week. We'll see. I have not decided yet. If there isn't, I'll see you in 2 weeks. If there is, hey, check it out. Anyway, folks, please stay safe out there. We'll see you on the next one.